Okay, what a glorious day. So it's such a nice day. We'll have a really lovely active class, make you feel good. Hi Wendy, hi Ricardo, Don's mate I think there. Lovely. Okay, let's get going. So you want a mat. Possibly, if you don't have a mat, you might just use a floor, that's fine, but maybe take some cushioning for the knees, a blanket of some sort. We can also work with a block or a book or something of this shape that might help you to sort of build on your stretches a little bit, build on your postures a little bit. Again, just work with your own body, so if something doesn't feel right, just ease off a little bit, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can obviously work to a deeper pose. So I'll always give modifications to build the pose up, so you can always choose where to stay. Okay, lovely guys, let's get going then. So you can come to the seated position on your mat this way. I'm just going to face you for now. Okay, lovely. So if you're not comfortable in this easy pose position, you can always sit on a chair, or you could sit on your block or your book like this. And just to give the hips a little bit of space and the spine starts to get a little bit more length. Okay, so just sit whatever's comfortable for you. And then from here we'll close the eyes down to start with. So at the beginning of your yoga practice, just noticing where the mind is first of all, okay? So we're thinking about if it's feeling a little bit scatty or if it's wandering off at all, then try and focus on the breath a little bit more so that we can start to give the mind a rest from its constant, incessant chatter. Okay, so just deepen that breath a little bit here so that we can start to focus more on our postures, our breath work, and what we're doing on the mat instead of what we're doing before or after the practice. Really nice, guys. If you work with Ujjayi breath or ocean breathing, you can start to bring that breath into the practice. So we've got the mouth closed and we've got a light whispering sound coming through the back of the throat. So a slight contraction of the back of the throat. And if that's just completely alien to you, then don't worry about it. Breathe normally. It's more important that you create this calming breath than forcing something that doesn't feel comfortable. Lovely, we're working with an Ashtanga fusion, so we'll work through the salutes a little bit faster than usual, and then we'll work into a fusion style practice. So not your normal primary series, because that would take us a lot longer than an hour. Excellent, everybody, and then from here just take a final inhale through the nose, so very deep inhale. Hold your breath just for a moment, lengthen the spine, and exhale out the mouth. So just letting a little bit of air out. Fab, and come with the eyes open. Lovely. Okay, so you can move your block, your prop, whatever you've got to the front of the mat, and let's start standing. So we'll start all the way to the front in Samastitihi, our mountain pose. I'll face you for a moment, you can stay where you are. So bringing your feet together, so specifically your big toes are together, belly's drawn in slightly, heart space is lifted and open, and then just send the hands to the side of the body. So palms spin to face me. And let's just take a couple of sort of rounds of grounding breath here. So we're breathing in and out. Lots of length, lots of space around that Sushumna Nadi through the centre line of the body, the spine. Fab. And let's just get straight into Surya Namaskara A, so Sun Salutes A. So take a big inhale, raise the arms above the head, and take the gaze to the thumb. And on an exhale, bend the knees and fold down into your ragdoll position. So just to start with, whilst we're getting a little bit more space in the body and stretching off, you might want to take quite a deeper bend in the knee, interlace the elbows and find a little bit more of a passive forward fold here. So it's not very active, it's quite relaxed. Ragdoll. Think about hugging the belly slightly into the spine and sending that rib cage towards the thigh. So you're feeling this connection with lower and upper body. Lovely, just hanging out here for a moment, guys, relaxing the back of the neck and the breath, steady. I quite like to, when I'm in ragdoll, just sort of transfer the body weight forward and back into the balls and the heels of the feet, just starting to challenge my balance a little bit. Okay, this is a very subtle movement. So try not to face plant the floor, just subtle movements of sort of rocking forward, rocking back. Abdominals are engaged so that you can stabilise yourself. Lovely, and exhale, release the hands to the floor, flop the head down. Inhale, bring the fingertips to the shins, straighten the legs and take a halfway lift. So you're gazing slightly downwards, hugging the belly in. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands to the floor, step 2 feet back into plank. Okay, so if you're not practiced in plank, you can always drop a knee just to help support the shoulder blades. Or you've got your shoulders over your wrists, so stacking the joints, your belly's active and your heels are pressing back, so you've got 2 solid legs. Just take one more breath in plank. Really nice, everybody. Pop both knees to the floor. Elbows swoop out and in so that the upper arm scoops the rib cage. Shift the body weight forward. Take the tailbone up and send the chest and chin to the earth. Okay, so we're doing a modified version of Chaturanga. Chest and chin to the earth. Slide the legs down the mat. You've got the pubic bone into the mat. Keep the hands where they are. Big inhale, lift the chest away from the earth and slot the shoulders down the back. Baby Cobra. So elbows are in at a right angle like they would be in Chaturanga. Exhale, pop the chest to the floor. Tuck your toes under and push up into the hands, up and back. First down dog, reach for the sky with the tailbone. Lovely, guys, don't be precious with your first dog, just making sure that you're getting some space into it. So I like to pedal one heel down, take a little twist in the hips, sending one knee to the side and vice versa. Fab. And then just take a little gaze forward, check your hands, so just making sure you've got your first finger, that's your index finger, pointing directly forward, then the other fingertips spread out from there. Ground your first finger, turn the big toes in slightly and micro bend the knees. As you find length in the spine, retract the shoulder blades away from the wrists and hug the belly in, lengthening up through the torso. Fab, guys, then send the heels down. We'll just soften the heels naturally. Long, slow breath. One more breath. Lovely. Inhale, look forward. And slowly, slowly, starting to warm up those hamstrings. Okay, so back of the legs here. Just walk forward. Exhale, forward fold, so a little bit more active than before. Micro bend the knee. Inhale, big swoop up. Take the gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, hands to the side of the body, Samastitihi. Okay, and again, inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, fold down the midline, pop the hands to the floor, gaze through the legs. Inhale, half lift, so fingertips come to shins, gaze forward. Feel that sort of chest bone coming parallel to the earth. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step 2 feet back into Palankasana. Check your shoulder girdle, guys, make sure it's over the wrist so we're very strong and stable in the front half of the body. If you're practicing Chaturanga, you want to come straight down, you can. Or pop onto the knees. Hips are slightly further forward than the knees here. Elbows wrap in and under. So we've got this right angle with the elbows. Shift the body weight forward. Make a shelf so that the rib cage comes onto the upper arm, and then start to send the body down by just bending in the elbows. Okay, slow as we can, build that strength. Lovely, everybody. Inhale, lift the chest up, find your Cobra position. Exhale, pop the chest down. Tuck your toes under, push up and back, find your down dog. Fab, think about that surface area that you're working with here. So hands and feet, nice and even, spacing and distribution of weight between hands and feet on the mat. Take the gaze to the big toes. Relax the back of the neck. Hold for one more breath. Inhale and look forward, and then start to step forward. So both feet come forward. It might mean that you shimmy forward. It doesn't matter how you get there, just get forward. Inhale, half lift, take the fingertips to the shins, gaze forward. Exhale, slide down the legs and take a forward fold. Big inhale, reach for the sky, take the gaze to the thumb. And exhale, hands to the side of the body, Samastitihi. Really nice, everybody. Last round of this, Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, raise the arms up, gaze to thumb. Exhale, fold down the midline, pop the hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips to shins, gaze forward. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step or jump back into plank if you like. I'll show you full plank to Chaturanga now, so keeping the knees off the floor, unless you want to pop them down to support the hips, you can. Elbows in and back, shift body weight forward, balance on the palm and the tiptoe. Come down by bending the elbows, not swooping, just bending the elbows, option for the knees, hover. Inhale, coming onto the top of the feet, find your up dog. You can always take a Cobra here, don't worry about moving into up dog if it doesn't suit you. Open the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, draw the belly in, lift the hips up and back and send yourself into down dog. Take 5 breaths. Building that fire around the belly. Ground your index finger. Soften the back of the legs. Last round of breath. Fabulous. Look forward and again step forward. So however you get there, might take a couple of goes, doesn't matter. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, slide down the midline, take a forward fold. Inhale, big reach up, arms above the head, drishti, gaze point to the thumb. Exhale, hands to the side of the body, Samastiti. Okay, Surya Namaskara B. Shimmy the feet together, sun salutes B. Feet are touching, knees are touching. Sit down into a chair pose, so sit down with the bum. Draw the belly in as you send the tailbone down. So it's this forward rotation and under rotation of your tailbone. Once you've got that position, inhale, raise the arms up. Turn the palms to face in. Slightly gaze upwards. Breathe in here, Utkatasana chair pose. Lovely. Everybody's favourite pose. Exhale, palms touch. Fold down the midline. Work your breath, guys. Inhale, half lift, gaze forward. Exhale, bend the knees and plant the hands. Step 2 feet back into plank position. Come all the way down on your exhalation, Chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. You can always take a child's pose instead of a dog, guys, if you need a little bit of a rest at any point. 5 breaths here. Allow the breath to guide the movement. Lovely. Okay, stepping forward with the right foot. So right foot steps in between the hands. If you need to pick it up and put it there, you can. Shimmy the right foot out to the right slightly, and then turn the back heel down. Square the hips forward, reach for the sky with the arms, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. So we've got right hip drawing back and left hip rolling forward. Yeah, rolling forward. So we've got 2 headlight hips. I sometimes take my hands to the hips and draw front hip back and back hip forward. Keep the belly active, so we're not flaring here. Belly's active, lower rib cage is drawn in. You've also got the option to come a little bit shorter in between front and back foot, which will allow that forward rotation of the hip joint a little bit more. Okay, breathing into it, gaze forward. Unless you're practiced in Vira 1, you can maybe bring the palms together and look up to the thumbs. Keep sending some weight into the ball of the feet and some space into the heart. Long, slow breath. Fabulous. Exhale, hands down either side of front foot. Step back into your plank pose. Come down your version of Chaturanga, option for the knees, elbows in, hover. Inhale, find your back bend, cobra or up dog. Exhale, find your down dog. Take 5 breaths and stabilise your foundation. So grounding down through index fingers, spreading the fingertips, softening the feet, softening the breath. Stepping forward with the left foot. So just take your time, guys, through these step forwards. Doesn't matter if it takes a few goes. Just try and keep the movement steady and as mindful as you can. Shimmy left foot out to the left slightly. Turn the back foot down so you've got the heel on the floor. Hips forward. Inhale, raise the arms above the head. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Again, thinking about this, I'll take left hip back. Right hip rolls forward and in, so you're starting to get that stretch into the inner thigh, into the groin, but keeping your front knee joint nicely stacked. Again, if you feel that you're over flaring in the rib cage and not connecting to core, sometimes it's better to take a shorter stance, drawing the belly in, sending the tailbone down, and then reach for the sky. If you get this flary rib cage, gaze forward. If you feel you've got that control around the centre line, you can then start to bring palms together and gaze to the thumb. Lovely, lots of activity in the feet, guys. Hold for one more breath. Exhale, bring the hands to the floor, either side of front foot. Step back into your plank pose. Come down through your version of Chaturanga. Take it slowly, build the strength, shift the body weight forward. Exhale. Inhaling Cobra or Up Dog. Exhaling, belly in, move from the powerhouse of the midline to protect the lumbar spine and send yourself back up into dog. Hold 5 breaths. Internal rotation of your back, big toe, gaze towards it. Fabulous. Think about in your postures, everybody. What can you soften? Where are you working too hard? What can you allow for a little bit of sort of softness, relaxation? Try and relax something. Inhale, look forward. And again, we can either step or some of us might want to take a little jump. So bending the knees and have a little bounce forward. It's just an option. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, big reach up, take the gaze to the thumb. Exhale, hands to the side of the body, Samastitihi. Really nice, everybody. Okay, let's do one last round of this. So shimmy feet together, knees together, sit into your chair, draw belly in, tailbone down, reach for the sky with the arms. Palms face in, holding for 1. 2, try and relax your shoulder blades here. And 3, palms touch. Exhale, fold down the midline. Inhale, halfway lift, chest bone parallel to the earth. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step or jump back into your plank and come down on your exhalation. Option for the knees, elbows at a right angle, shift forward and come down. Build that strength. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, move from the belly. Let's let a little bit of air out. So take a big inhale through the nose and open the mouth. Exhale. Okay, last part of this, Surya Namaskara B, stepping forward, right foot. Shimmy the right foot out to the right slightly. Turn the back heel down at a 30-degree angle. And then shift that body weight forward. Raise the arms above the head, Vira 1. Warrior 1. Keep drawing right hip back and rolling left thigh forward. Grounding the feet, holding for 1, 2, and 3. Exhale, hands down either side of front foot. Step back into plank pose. I know these get challenging at the beginning of Ashtanga, but it's really good for building that heat around the body. Chaturanga, exhale, elbows in. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Move from the belly, find your breath. Ground down through the index finger and big toe. Inhale, step forward with the left foot. Shimmy the left foot out to the left slightly. Turn the back heel down, 2 o'clock, 30 degrees. Inhale, raise the arms up above your head. Send the left hip back and roll the right hip forward. Again, working the belly. Imagine you've got a little corset hook in that lower rib cage and we're hooking it together so everything stays inward here. Find your breath, guys. Slow it down. And exhale. Pin the fingertips to the floor. Step back into your plank position and come down your version. I'm going to pop onto the knees again for this one to show you that. Elbows in and back, make your shell shift forward. Chaturanga. Inhaling, find your back bend, Cobra or up dog. Exhaling, find your down dog. 5 breaths. Lovely work, guys. Build that energy, build that heat with your Ujjayi breath or whatever control breath you're working with. Allow the breath to guide the movement. Allow the breath to soften and relax the muscles. Fab. Inhale, gaze forward. Again, you can either step or bend the knees and take a little hop forward. Exhale, forward fold into the space. Inhale, big swoop up, raise the arms above the head, take the gaze to the thumb. And exhale, hands to the side, body Samastitihi. Lovely, everybody. Okay, bring the hands to the hips from here and shimmy the feet hip width apart. Then turn the toes in slightly like a pigeon toe. And we'll work with Padangusthasana, couple of forward folds. So from here, on an inhale, lift the chest to the sky, draw the elbows back and hug the belly in. Then on an exhale, we're going to hinge at the hip, middle finger hip crease, forward fold. I like to soften the knee joint down a little bit here as a fold forward. And then depending on how far you can reach down here, you might want to take an even deeper bend in the knee so that you can take hold of the big toe in Yogi Toe Lock. So we've got the middle finger and index finger underneath the toe and the thumb on the tip of the toe. Then press into the big toe, so you're actively drawing the fingertips into the floor. On an inhale, straighten the elbows and start to straighten the legs a little bit, if that feels fine for you, so that you're getting the stretch in the full length of the hamstring from the bottom half near the kneecap all the way up to the sit bone. Okay, on an exhale, forward fold, press into those big toes, that's your centre of balance. And bring the elbows out to the side as you draw the chest towards the kneecaps. Lovely. And if it doesn't feel right for you, like this, with a straighter leg, you can always bend the knee. Yeah, so just do what suits you. Hang the back of your neck, take 5 breaths here. Activate the pelvic floor muscles, so Mula Bandha allows you to feel stable, then shift the body weight slightly forward into the ball of the foot. One more breath. Nice work, guys. Inhale, look up, straighten the elbows, bring the hands to the hips, soften the knees and roll up from the midline. Fabulous. Okay, and we're going to take a little bit of a deeper version, so keep those fingertips onto the hips. Inhale, lift the gaze up. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at the hip crease. Either take exactly the same position as we just did, or this time you can bring the palms underneath the feet facing upwards. Yeah, really nice sort of counter position for down dog this. So you're bringing the tips of the big toes as close towards the inner wrist as you can, and press into the earth with the ball of the foot. So really stretching out the back of the wrist. And on an inhale, we're going to gaze upwards. Again, start to activate the thighs, draw the belly in. Exhale, folding forward with the elbows out to the side. Like I said before, it might mean that you've got a deep bend in the knee here, and we're starting to sort of actively bring the rib cage to the thigh. Or you might have straighter legs with active thighs. Breathe in, relax those hamstrings. The more you activate your quadriceps, the frontal thigh muscle, the more relaxed the hamstring becomes, because they work as counter muscles in that way. Where's your breath, guys? Bring it back. Excellent. Inhale, look up. That was a deep old stretch for the hammies. Bring the hands back to the hips, bend the knees and roll the body up. Lovely. Then from here, keep the hands on the hips and take a big step out to the left. So you've got this Pratarita stance, straddle stance on the length of the mat. Okay, we'll take a triangle pose to the front of the room. So Utthita Trikonasana, turning the right foot, point it forward. Check you've got your front heel back arch aligned like this. And then belly's active, arms come out into a T position. Look over the front middle finger. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, tilt forward. Take the left hand onto the left hip so it doesn't fall in. It wants to stay stacked. Pop the lower fingertips down the shin or up here, it doesn't matter. And then if you feel stable, work the feet, work the thighs, work the belly, open out into that side bend, and you can start to extend that top arm. Fab. In Ashtanga, we tend to work with closed fingertips, but I always work with open fingertips in all my yoga practices, because I think yoga's about being open, not closed. And it stretches and opens the capillaries. It's good for arthritis. So this is just what I do. If it's okay on the neck, you can look up towards that top thumb. If it's not fine for the neck, then just look down. Again, self-adjusting yourself. If you might need to bend a knee. That's always okay. 2 strong legs, strong belly. Breathe in here for one more breath. Exhale, look down. Top hand to top hip. Strong legs, strong belly. Inhale, come all the way up. Turn the front big toe in. Extend the arms out to a T and take the same pose to the back of the room. So you're turning left foot, pointing it to the back of the room, front heel back arch aligned. Inhale, lengthen and activate. Exhale, tilt. Fingertips come down to wherever they can reach. Try and avoid the knee joints. Top hand comes to top hip. Peel open that hip so you're in one plane. And then if you feel stable, reach the top arm to the sky. If you want to close the fingertips, you can, but I like to spread them. I like to broaden everything, open out the fascia and stretch everything in the body. Option to gaze up or option to look down, breathing in, long, slow breath, guys. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Exhale, look down. Strong legs, strong belly. Inhale, come all the way back up again, hands to the hips. And let's take the revolved version to the front of the room. So you can turn your big toes in. Work the feet here. Turn the right foot pointed forward. Turn the left foot pointed forward. Shimmy the right foot out to the right slightly so you've got more balance and space in between the heels. It might mean that you shorten the stance from front foot to back foot. From here, right hand in hip crease, pin it back. Lift the left arm up towards the sky, hug the belly in and start to fold forward. So folding all the way forward with the body as you're pinning the right hip crease back, the left hand comes down. Some of you might want to take a block underneath the hand here, or a book, whatever you've got. And some of you might be practiced in the pose and take that lower hand to the outer edge of the foot. Keep pinning your right hip back. If you want to come a little further, we can extend the top arm towards the sky. Utthita Trikonasana, revolved triangle pose. Twist to the right. Keep the belly active and keep the thighs nice and strong. Excellent, guys. Holding for 1, 2, 3, active feet, strong legs, lift the kneecaps up to the pelvis, 4 and 5, excellent. Bring the fingertips down, soften the front kneecap. If you need to take your block with you, you can. We're going to windmill all the way up into that straddle stance and then take the same pose to the back of the room. So again, hands to hips, shimmy on the feet so all 10 toes point to the back of the room. Little bit of space in between the heels widthways. Take the left hand to the left hip crease, pin it back. Inhale, right arm comes up towards the sky, hug the belly in and exhale, forward fold. As you reach the left hip back, you bring the right hand forward. You've got the option to pop the lower hand onto a block on the inside of the foot. If you want to come a little further, taking that hand to the outer edge of the foot, coming into this Utthita Trikonasana, revolved triangle pose. Option to take the left arm to the sky, twist to the left, 2 strong legs, belly in. Holding for 1, lift the kneecaps to the pelvis. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nice work, guys. Bring both fingertips to the floor. Soften the front left knee joint. Windmill all the way up. You've got your straddle stance again. Pop the mat to the front, the block to the front if you've got it. Let's work into Utthita Parsvakonasana. So we're turning right foot, pointing it forward, bending the knee, shimmy the back foot out so there's lots of space in between the hips and you've got your knee joint and big toe tracking forward. Then bring the arms out into Warrior 2, find lots of energy through the heart space. And on an exhale, front elbow comes onto front thigh, option A, top arm comes up towards the sky. So spread the fingertips and reach away from the bottom hip. Lovely. Option B, reach that top arm up and over the body so we've got one long line of energy from outer back foot all the way up through fingertips. Breathing in, keep lifting lower rib cage away from thigh. And option C, you can either bring a block underneath the hand on the outside of the foot or bring the hand all the way to the floor on the outside of the foot. Breathe in here. Lovely. Hug the belly and rotate the chest bone to the sky. Look toward the little finger that's turned slightly inwards and down. Where's your breath, guys? Bring it back in. Nice work, everybody. One more breath. Fab. From here on an inhale, come back up onto the thigh, so you're supporting yourself in that previous Pavsva. And then come all the way up, windmill, straighten the front leg, turn the back big toe in, take the pose to the back of the room. So left foot points to the back of the room, bend the knee, shimmy the back foot out, so you've got lots of external space in the hip. Option to bring the left elbow onto the left thigh, reach for the sky with the top arm, one long line from bottom hip all the way up through fingertips. Lovely, really nice, dynamic, expressive pose. Option to come a little further, reaching out up and over, palm faces down, little fingertip inwards. And then if this is just not quite enough, you can take the left hand all the way down, either into the outside of that front foot, reach up with the fingertips, one long line out to back foot, all the way up through the hand. Spiral the chest bone to the sky, breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wonderful, look down. Come back up onto the shin to support the body and come all the way up, hands to hips. Fab. Shimmy the feet in a little bit, so you've got both big toes pointing in straddle stance on the length of your mat. And we take the twisted version of this pose, okay? Parvarito Utthita Trikonasana, twisted version. Spin the feet and point them towards the front of the room in a lunge pose. So bend the front knee, straighten out through that back left leg and keep the hips forward facing. Keep the right hand on the hip. Take the left arm up towards the sky. Press the right hip down and the left fingertips up. Draw the belly in. On an exhale, lower the back knee to the floor and hook that front elbow up and over your front kneecap, so you twist into the right. Option to bring the hands to prayer here and twist to the right again, finding your twisted lunge pose. Long, slow breath, guys. If you want to come a little deeper, we can start to shimmy the lower shoulder blade or armpit up and over the front kneecap. So we're bridging the gap between the lower rib cage and the kneecap. Some of us might want to come back into prayer here, or bring that left hand to the outer edge of the front foot. Take this in stages, guys. Just work with your own body. Right hand, top hand, presses down the right hip crease. Really draw that hip down. Keep it lowered. If you feel stable, lift the back knee away from the earth and straighten out that back leg, make it nice and active. If you feel stable in the foundation, reach the top arm, right arm, up and over the body, palm faces down, reach everything away from the centre line. Breathe in for 1, up or down level, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lovely, guys. Hands either side of front foot. Turn onto the inner arch of back foot like you would in Warrior 2. Windmill all the way up, lots of energy. Turn on the feet, high lunge to the back of the room. Left foot and right foot both pointing to the back. Deep bend in your front knee, strong back leg. Left hand comes to left hip crease, pin it back and down. Right hand comes up to the sky, 2 opposing energies from fingertip to fingertip. Exhale, pop the back knee with control to the floor. Reach the right elbow up and over the front thigh, hook it and find prayer arms. Twist to the left. Long, slow breath, everyone. If you want to come a little further, you can start to shimmy the lower rib cage up and over the thigh, bridging the gap between the armpit and the thigh. Hands in prayer, or if you want to come further, right hand, that's your lower hand, to the outer edge of front foot. Left hand takes hold of the left hip, pin the hip down, and if you feel stable, lift the back knee off the floor. Keep opening out towards the left. If you're stable here, really strong back leg, reach the left arm up and over, palm faces in, little fingertip also spirals inwards. Maybe we can look towards the little finger. Find your breath, guys. One more breath. Fab. Both hands come to the floor, either side of front foot, turn onto the ball of the back foot and windmill all the way back up again. Turn your back toe in, Prasarita stance. Hands come to prayer, centre of the heart, step forward all the way to the front of the mat. Samastiti here with the hands in prayer. Inhale, move through Vinyasa, so arms come to the sky, gaze to the thumb. Exhale, forward, fold down the midline. Inhale, half lift, gaze forward. Exhale, step or jump back into your plank position and use your exhale to come down. Chaturanga, elbows in, find your ledge. Option for the knees. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, belly in. Really nice work, guys. Take your down dog or take a child's pose. Look towards the big toes. Breathe here and stay here for 5 breaths. Long, slow breath. Lovely work, guys. One more breath. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, take a little bunny hop or a step to the front of the mat and exhale, forward fold. Let some air out. Inhale, big reach up, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, hands to the side of the body, Samastiti. Excellent. From here, bring the hands to the hips. Big step out to the left again. Prasarita stance, straddle stance on the length of your mat. And turn your big toes in slightly, so you've got duck foot. No, pigeon toe. Inhale, lift the gaze up, activate belly, draw muscles in of the lower abdomen. And exhale, forward fold, middle finger in hip crease, folding down. Either bring the hands to the floor, shoulder width apart, or you might need to bend your knees here to bring those hands lower and support the back of the hamstrings. There's always the option to bring something underneath the hands so you're a bit closer to the floor. Take an inhale, halfway lift, straighten your elbows. Exhale, fold down the midline, walking those hands back if it's in your practice so that they're aligned with the mid-arch. And then think about actively drawing the thigh muscles in and up towards the pelvis, almost like we're hugging the ball and socket joint of the pelvis. The head of the femur, the thigh bone and the pelvis become nicely connected. Broaden the foot, holding for 1. You can always bend the knees or have something underneath the hands here, remember guys. 2. Pelvic floor active, molar bandha. If you don't want to wee on the spot, those muscles that you squeeze. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale onto fingertips, gaze forward. Soften the knee joint. Bring the hands to the hips and roll all the way back up again. Lovely. From here, interlace the hands behind the back and draw the knuckles down towards the heels. Lift the heart space to the sky and exhale, forward fold. Again, work those feet, slightly turn the big toes in to give you that forward feeling so that the big toes and kneecaps align. Fold forward, reach up and over the head with the arms. Starting to work into stretching the shoulder girdle in a totally opposite direction. Again, lift kneecaps in and up to pelvis, pelvic floor active. Try not to crush the feet here so the balls of the foot is broad. You're spreading your toes. For 1. If this doesn't suit you, you can always support the body by bringing the hands to the floor. 2, long, slow Ujjayi breath. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, Inhale, soften knee, draw belly and roll all the way up again. Fabulous. Shimmy the feet slightly closer to one another. And from here we're going to interlace the elbows behind the back. Okay, so stay where you are and it looks like this. Some of you might have a reverse prayer position. Okay, so you're reversing the hands so that the palms touch and they're sliding up the centre of the shoulder blades. This is just an option. So either work with the interlaced elbows or you can do reverse prayer. Then from here we're going to turn left foot pointed forward, right foot pointed forward, all 10 toes are pointing towards the front of the room. Maybe shimmy some space in between the heels so the right foot moves slightly out to the right. Right hip back, 2 strong legs. Inhale, lift the gaze up. Exhale, fold forward, but try not to open the hip out to the side. Keep both hips. So left hip rolling forward and in and right hip rolling back. Okay, it's a strong old stretch working into the hamstrings here. If this is not right for you, you can always bend the front knee, work with a block and support the pose instead, or you can shorten the distance between front foot and back foot, which gives you a little bit more of an even hip. Okay, keep drawing that right hip bone into pelvis, rolling the left thigh forward, folding forward. One more breath here, guys. Strong old pose. Excellent. Micro bend the front knee. Inhale, come all the way up, spin on the feet. All 10 toes point to the back of the room. Again, make sure there's distance in space in between the heels widthways, so you're not crossing in the heel. Left hip, pin it back. Right thigh, roll it forward. Inhale, lift the gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. As you forward fold, you're drawing that left hip back into its socket. Grounding the balls of the feet, really working into this stretch, guys. If you do need to have a bend in the knee, go for it. Just modify yourself depending on how you feel. Long, slow breath for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come all the way up, turn on the feet so you're in straddle stance on the length of your mat. Unravel your arms, woohoo, do a couple of little twists. Fabulous, guys. And then from here, bring the hands to the hips and jump the feet together. So let's work into a balance. I want you to balance on the right foot, broaden it. Draw the belly in, bring both hands to the hips, lift the left knee in and up to the chest and take hold of the shin. Okay, this might be enough for you. Eventually we're working with a straight leg. I'm going to show you all stages. So that's why we've been working to the hamstrings quite a lot. But please don't force this. I'd rather you work with a tall spine than a straight leg. It's always about what the core body's doing. So maybe breathe in here. If you can get hold of that Yogi Toe Lock, so middle finger, index finger, thumb, over big toe, and slightly bring that knee out to the side, drawing the spine up nice and tall. Some of us might be able to extend the leg. This is just an option. Okay, don't force it. Work with a long spine, not a straight leg. Holding for 1, draw the left shoulder blade back. Hips are nice and level. 2, long slow breath, guys. This is fabulous for your ankle strength. 3, don't worry about falling. 4, and 5. On an exhale, take that leg out to the side. See if we can spin the gaze over the opposite shoulder blade. Again, working with those intrinsic foot muscles. Holding for 1. You've either got the leg straight or you've got the knee bent. Just be mindful. 2, 3, 4, really strengthening that right lower hip and glute. And 5. Inhale to centre. Release the foot, both hands to hips, lift up, point the toe, hold for 1. Work the thighs, 2, keep lifting. 3, 4, lift, and 5. Knee in, exhale, take it down. Woohoo, shake the legs. Nice work, guys. Such a strong pose for everybody. I find it extremely strong. Okay, left foot comes to the floor. Find your little drishti, your little gaze point on the floor. And then take the right knee in and up. Try and work the breath with this. Either stay here, option A, take hold of big toe. Option B, keep the spine strong and long, belly's drawn in, yet nice and active through the midline. Option here to bring that leg out. Draw the right shoulder, that's the shoulder that's holding the toe, back in so it's level with your other shoulder. Holding for 1, up or down a level, 2, activate the foot, 3, keep strong in your standing leg, 4, keep your gaze point, and 5, slow as you can, opening out to the side, keeping the hips level. Some of us might be able to take the gaze over opposite shoulder for 1, lots of breath, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come to centre, take away from the toe, hand to hip, lift it, point it, hold for 1, lift, 2, if you get cramp it can be quite normal, 3, 4, and knee in, exhale for 5. Fabulous guys, shake the feet. Let's come to the front of the mat, take a vinyasa, big inhale, both arms to the sky, gaze to thumb, exhale, fold down the midline. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, step or jump back into your plank position and come down your version as slow as you can, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths. Hamstrings should feel a lot more open now in your dog. Lovely. Look forward and let's take a little bunny hop to a seated position. So activate the pelvic floor muscles. Some of us might be practicing this, some of us might want to do this. So just bring in 1 foot behind. I like to practice 1 foot behind wrist and then you're hopping in the other foot and coming into a cross-legged position. Yeah, lovely. And from here we're going to bring the soles of the feet to the floor, hug around the shins and grow nice and tall through the centre line. Connect belly into thigh, so you're lots of activity around the midline. Everybody's favourite posture, the Vinyasa, boat pose. Bring the arms out, sit slightly back, but keep those belly muscles hugged in. Extend the legs away from the floor. Okay, so you've got the calves parallel to the earth. If this is not supportive for your spine, you can always bring the hands down whilst you build that core strength. Holding for 1, belly's active, gaze to big toes, open the heart, 2, 3, 4, 5, cross one leg over the other, hug those legs in, palms to the floor, lift the bum off the floor, and exhale, take it down again. Let's repeat this, Navasana. Bring those legs up, belly in, lift the arms to the side, hold for 5. Some of us might want to straighten the legs for 1. Big breaths, 2, 3, 4, lift it up, and 5, cross the legs, hug them in, palms to the side, lift up, and exhale, take it down. Let's do 1 more round. Okay, fab guys, belly in, heart open, long spine. Lift those legs, work the strength of the legs here. Hold for 1, 2, you can do it, 3, ignore the shaking, smile, 4, and 5, cross the legs, hands to the side, lift up, and exhale, take it down. Nice work guys. Bring the soles of the feet together from here, so you've got Baddha Konasana. I'm going to face you, you stay where you are. Knees out to the side, lovely diamond shape. Thread the hands through, let's take a restorative version of this. The palms are facing up. And then exhale, relax the head down. Doesn't matter where it comes to, whatever feels right for you. Slow down the breath. Really rounding up in the spine here. Make this quite passive, quite restorative. slow the breath right down. Fab. And then from here, slowly unthreading yourself. We're going to shimmy the bum slightly closer towards the heels. And then keep the belly active as we balance on the sit bones, taking hold of the big toes in Yogi Toe Lock. So we've got middle finger, index finger, thumb around the toes. We shimmy that bum forward. We might from here then be able to take one foot off the floor, keeping the knee bent, and some of us then might be able to bring the other foot off the floor. Okay, it doesn't matter, just experimenting with it a little bit. Keeping those feet nicely active. If it feels fine here, some of you might be able to start to straighten the legs, draw the shoulders back, lift the gaze, keep the belly active. Remember, this is not necessary. If it doesn't work for you or you're falling all over, that's part of the practice. It's a practice, not a perfect, guys. Remember that. Let that be thy mantra. One more breath. Excellent. Crossing at the legs here and send your way all the way onto the back. And we're just going to finish with a couple of back bends here. So we're working into bridge 3 times. So I want you to bring the soles of the feet underneath the kneecaps. And then just feel that you can sort of skim the back of the heels with the fingertips. Draw the belly in slightly so that we're starting to connect to the bum muscles, okay? So if we have a loose stomach here, the bum won't do any work. We need that activity around the belly to be able to also work the bum. So draw belly in, hands to the side, roll the hips off the floor, so you're tucking your tailbone under toward the back of the kneecaps. Shimmy the shoulder blades underneath if that feels fine for you. Try not to balance on the neck. And if you want to come a little further, interlace the hands behind the back, press the knuckles down, lift away from the earth. Okay, hips are high but belly slightly active, chest bone towards chin, holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Shoulders underneath, shimmy, interlace the hands, belly in, holding for 1, 2, keeping those knees nice and parallel, 3, 4, and 5. Let's come down. And one last round, let's come up. Inhale, pelvis off the floor, ground the feet. Shimmy the shoulder blades underneath, take hold of the knuckles and lifting up. Find your back bend. Holding for 1, keep the belly slightly tucked in but lift up through the hips. 2, work those back muscles, work the bum muscles. 3, 4, and 5. Excellent, guys. Unshimmy, draw those hips down. And let's bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe bring the nose towards the knees, hug in. Fab. And then relax the head down, but keep hold of the legs. Extend left leg down for your supine twist. Then use left hand on the knee, twist all the way over. Ooh, crackety crack. And then from here, you can either relax here, bring that opposite hand, your right hand out to the side, maybe gaze in that direction, breathe into belly. Lovely. Coming back to centre, drawing both knees in. Extend the right leg down. Right hand on knee, twist all the way over, opposite side, coming into your supine twist. One side will probably be different to the other. That is totally normal, but don't force it. If the knee doesn't want to come to a certain point, then just allow it to be where it is. Lovely work, everybody. Let's take a Savasana. I'm going to take Supta Baddha Konasana for this to open out my inner thigh. So I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together, move a bit of flesh away from the back by bringing the bum down towards the heels, and then just extending the arms to the side of the body, palms facing up. Close your eyes down, release your Ujjayi breath or whatever you've been working with. Notice what the body feels like now it's done some yoga. And try and hold on to that element of calm and equanimous mind throughout your day as much as you can. And obviously stay here for as long as you like, or you can start to get some space back into the wrist and into the ankles, twisting round. Big stretch up. And exhale, draw the knees in and send the body over to the right side. So you've got the left arm underneath the head, just supporting it. You're coming into a little fetus position. And then when you're ready, just pushing yourself up into easy pose. This might mean that you're on a chair here, or you've got whatever's comfortable basically. Bringing the hands to prayer from here, so palms touch. Rub the palms together, make yourself a bit of heat with the hands. Fab. Namaste guys, thank you so much for practicing with me.